If you're watching this video, there's probably a high chance that you were in a toxic relationship for a long time. Maybe you were yanking your personality inside and out, trying to make this other person happy. Probably to the point where you feel like you lost yourself, right? And then as time was going on and you were realizing that no matter what you did, things just kept getting worse. And somehow it was always your fault. At some point, you stumbled on information that opened your eyes and helped you to see that it's not so much you as much as it is you are in a relationship with somebody that possibly is high on the scale of NPD. Maybe you were looking up information that helped you to stumble on gaslighting, blame shifting, on characteristics that are common with narcissists. So at that point, you realize that there's nothing you can do. And you made a huge decision to leave. I'm going to be presumptuous and assume that that wasn't an easy decision to get to, especially because you probably invested so much into the relationship. But you made that decision to leave. And when you did, something so unexpected happened that it really threw you for a loop. And that is, quickly, before your foot is barely out the door, the narcissist in your life found someone else, had a new relationship, and was seemingly super happy. That's a hard pill to swallow because your goal was always to make this person happy, right? So not only are you seeing them happy, but it's almost like they're doing and being everything you always wanted them to do and be with you, but with another person. If this is resonating with you, you're going to want to watch this video because I really want to explain how the narcissist puts on this facade of being happy at your expense and how they actually can find happiness to the extent that they're capable of if you do what I mentioned in this video. With that in mind, let's get started. My name is Michelle. I'm a life and relationship coach. I specialize in narcissistic abuse and complex PTSD. I'm also the founder of the Thriver School of Transformation. I provide a lot of free and affordable resources, so always make sure you check out the description box below. So let's dive into exactly what's happening, what it's creating in you, and what it's creating in the narcissist so we can break this down and understand it so that you can stand behind your decisions and feel good about them, despite how the other person is acting. So first, I want to say that the narcissist will often jump into a relationship so fast if you are the one that discards them. And the reason they do that is because for you to discard them is for you to value you and say, I don't deserve that, what that person is offering. And that really messes with their false image that they're perfect and that they're so amazing. So they jump into another relationship so that they can get somebody to give them that, somebody to look at them as if they're super amazing, while at the same time trying to drive home this belief or this thought that they're happy that you did that and they're better off, not you, they're better off without you. They want you to second guess your decision. Okay, now a lot of you may be like, Michelle, we get that, I get that, but I am confused because this person seems so happy with this other person. They're taking them to all the places that I always wanted to go. They're doing things with them that I always wanted to do that they never did with me. So it must be that this person is better. Okay. So another thing that we have to understand about malignant narcissists is the fact that they always have to have a scapegoat and a golden child. And the purpose for having a scapegoat and a golden child in their mind, the purpose for assigning these roles is because rather than doing the work on themselves, right, rather than bettering themselves, they split themselves into everything they like about themselves and everything they hate about themselves. And the scapegoat will carry everything the narcissist does not like about themselves. The scapegoat will also carry the blame for any problems or challenges or difficulties that are taking place. The golden child is not so much what the narcissist likes about themselves as much as it is what they wished they had or who they wish they would like to be perceived as. This helps them to maintain their view of themselves. Okay, we hear that happening with children. There's a lot of videos about how the narcissist will pick one child to be the amazing golden child and the other to be the scapegoated problematic child. Well, guess what? They do that with relationships too, with new relationship versus the ex. One will become the scapegoat and one will become the golden child. And the way this plays out is the person that discarded the narcissist obviously is going to get the role as the scapegoat. They're going to be the one with the problem. And the new supply is like the golden child, and everything the narcissist wants to see in themselves, they will project into this person. And with that in mind, they are able, and you have to listen to this part carefully, okay? They are able to be happy, at least happy according to what a narcissist feels happy about, okay? But they're able to portray happiness. They are able to portray contentment if you, as the scapegoat, suddenly start doubting yourself. Go back to losing the empowered place that you got to. You got to an empowered place to be able to leave a toxic relationship. If you start falling back into self-doubt, lack of confidence, if you stop moving forward and start kind of self-sabotaging your life again, the narcissist can stay happy because they look at you, your lack of happiness now, your lack of contentment with your decision. You're second guessing yourself. And in their mind, what they say is, see, I'm not the problem. He or she is. Look at how they're falling apart. Look at how they're stalking me. Look at how they're trying to contact the new supply and tell them what a horrible person I am. They're not happy. That means I'm happy. That's how they view themselves when they regulate themselves through you. And I've done videos on how they regulate themselves through you. Make sure you watch that video. I left the link there. Okay, so the more unhappy and unfocused and unable you are to move forward, the more they begin to move forward. Because again, that broken prism of reality is making them blame you, and they're doing everything that appears as if they're happy. Now, why do they do the exact things that you always wanted them to do with you? Well, there's two reasons. One reason is because by you letting them know that's what you wanted, they're able to kind of know, oh, okay, this is what people want. So let me, do that. Let me do what people want. So just by being a regular person and expressing your needs, you've let them know what is valuable. Okay, so that's one of the reasons. The other reason is because they fully well know that by doing exactly what you always wanted but never got, that will cause you more emotional turmoil, more negative emotions. And the more negative emotions you feel, they regulate themselves by saying, oh, I'm not feeling these negative emotions. He or she is. I'm amazing. And they're doing all these amazing things. The new supply is benefiting. So they're reflecting back how great the narcissist is. And they're fueling this by getting positive supply from the new supply, negative supply from the old supply or you. And that gives them double supply. Just like a child that's throwing a tantrum for attention, they don't care if it's good attention or bad attention. Any attention is better than no attention. So they're getting good attention or good supply from their new person they're in a relationship with. They're getting negative attention or negative supply from you by watching and allowing all of these negative emotions to come up inside of you. I want to say that that's understandable. To be hurt that somebody does that is normal. To see the manipulation and how cruel it is and how their desire is to hurt you hurts. Okay, so I don't want to minimize I don't want to minimize your feelings because they're normal. However, when you begin to really understand them and understand how your healthy, normal feelings are being used against you, that's when you can start kind of mourning the loss, because you have to mourn the loss, not so much of how badly you were treated, but mourn the loss of all that you poured into the relationship and didn't get back. Mourning the loss of what you thought the relationship was and realized that it wasn't. So you have to kind of go through that mourning period. You don't want to stifle your feelings. Once you do that, though, you want to focus on your life. You want to get yourself back to that empowered place. You want to start living for you, not thinking about them, not caring. That's the best place to be. Indifference is the ultimate empowered emotion when it comes to a narcissistic ex, where you really could care less what they do, what they think, what they say. When you get to that place, the narcissist cannot use you for negative supply anymore. They cannot feed from you anymore by dumping their negative in you, or by seeing your negative and associating it with that's you, you're the one with the problem, and then show up for their best self. They can't do that anymore. And so what will happen if this person is high on a scale of NPD is that eventually the person that is the new supply, they can't keep up that facade anymore. They can't continue to be the amazing self that they have been showing themselves to be without somebody to blame for the negative, without somebody to project their negative emotions into, okay? So that's what will happen. If you don't want to help them to be happy, don't allow them to regulate themselves through you. Go through your mourning period and then start getting yourself empowered and together. And for anyone that's struggling, okay, to do this alone, because guess what? It is hard. It is challenging. You're going through a lot of rewiring after narcissistic abuse. If you can benefit from live weekly meetings,